Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I am here today with a video. This is a short French set. This is a highly requested video and I'm gonna be doing a few slow-mo on cuticle application. So stay tuned for that. This is highly requested. I've been reading my comments and people were asking me to go more in details about the cuticle, so that's what I want to do in this video. And they were also asking to do a French set, so I'm just gonna use one stone and kill two birds. Yeah, so let's get into it. So with the cuticle, you have to practice your liquid to powder ratio. That way you can control your cuticle bead as much as possible. And one more thing, when you're working with your cuticle bead, do not put the bead exactly at the cuticle. I put it just above the cuticle and then I tuck it in the cuticle. And also the brush, use the tip of the brush. Like if the acrylic is flowing in the cuticles or the sidewall, don't panic. This happens to all of us. Just use your brush and clean up the sidewalls and clean up your cuticle, because that's what you have a brush for. Just use the brush and clean it up, and make sure you're using the tip of the brush, the very tip, not the belly of the brush, because I noticed some of you guys, you're using the belly of the brush and that is just patting the acrylic down in the cuticle. It's not removing the acrylic, and you want to remove the acrylic. So first we're going in with the first bead, and I'm gonna place that right where the tip and the natural nail meets, well, right below. Since this is a short set, I'm going to work with less acrylic. And also guys, if you have excess acrylic, make sure to wipe that off. Stop trying to save unnecessary acrylic. If the acrylic is too much and is flowing off the nail, just use your brush and remove it. And now we're going to be coming in with the cuticle bead. You see how I did not place that bead exactly on the cuticle? And look, I am just using the brush to gently tuck it back in the cuticle and controlling my acrylic on the side. When you're doing nail, you have to have an eye, like look all over the nail to see if the acrylic is running, to see where you need to control the product. Like you can't just keep looking in one spot. Keep your eyes all over the nail for any errors, and make sure when you're applying, you're cleaning up your sidewalls. Not your sidewall, well, you're cleaning up your sidewalls, but you're also cleaning up the side of your tips. That way you keep your shape, because we do not want that in the end we're gonna come back and having to do excess filing. So try to keep your shape as much as possible. And we're coming in one more time with the first bead, and we're placing that right below the tip. And you can also try to do a one bead, but I never practice one. I can do a one bead, but I just don't practice it, because I reach the same place doing a two bead and it gets the job done just as fast or faster. And make sure you're patting that acrylic, make sure it's nice and flat so you avoid having those bumps and lumps. Okay, so this is the slow-mo. Check the cuticle bead. It's just above the cuticle. Then I come in, then I'm doing tucking, and please be gentle with this part. The acrylic does not need to be overworked, so just be gentle and light strokes, light motion, because you put the acrylic there for a reason. You don't want to be dragging and removing everything off the nail. So try your best to control the product as much as possible. And when you're applying that cuticle bead, make sure that the client's finger is tilting down. That way the product will flow down. You don't want it to flow it backwards in the cuticle or off to the side. So try to keep, you see how the fingers are pointing down? Try to keep the client's hands facing down. That way the acrylic can run to the tip of the nail. What I noticed also is A lot of you guys are overworking the cuticle bead. If you have a good acrylic, the acrylic will self-level. You are the ones that's going in and making a mess in the acrylic. Try to do this. Try to video yourself while you're working, and look how smooth the acrylic was when you put it down. And look at the mess you made from overworking that product. Just try. Record yourself working, and you're going to see how nice and flat that acrylic was until you went in and start playing in it. The acrylic self levels. All you need to do is encourage the product to go where you want it to go and give it light strokes and padding. I'm not, every instance is different. Okay, if you place a dry bead down, of course you probably need to go back in your liquid and get some monomer and come back, so that way the acrylic can start flowing. But if you place a bead down, it's not runny, it's not too dry, it's the perfect bead. Stop overworking the acrylic. Just let the acrylic flow and give it light taps and light strokes. This cover color we're using is called NyomiNude. You can find it on our website, and we're now having a sale. If you buy 2 2-ounce powder, you get 1 powder free. So you can go ahead, I'm gonna leave the link in the description box. You can go and check out our products. We have monomers, we have nail tips. We have the best nail tips, guys. Our nail tips, they're so strong and they stick very fast. Currently we're sold out on the square ones, but we still have a few coffin tips left. If you want to go and check that out, you can go ahead and do so. As I said before, the link is gonna be in the description box. We have like 6 cover powders, so you can go ahead and get the collection as well. But this specific color we're using is called NyomiNude, and use my code Chelsea10 to get 10% off. Now we're gonna come in with our 100 grit hand file, and this is also on the website. So whenever I'm shaping, I make sure I hold my file super straight. And also one important thing is make sure that the file is connected to the nail from the side wall to the tip. Make sure this file is connected, because the moment you start curving the file or removing the file from certain areas of the nail, then you're gonna start seeing like a curve in the nail and stuff like that. So just try to make sure you have your file connected straight and firm on the nail, and then you just give it like strokes. And make sure when you're shaping, you alternate. Don't stay on one side too long. Keep switching up the sides and keep checking your shape. Don't just file blind, like you're just filing because you know it's time to file. Make sure whenever you're filing, you keep checking your nails and you're filing with a purpose. You're filing because you know that sides need to go in some more. Okay, underneath is bulky. So that's one thing with shaping. You have to keep your eye on the nail and just be aware of exactly what you're doing. So file with a purpose. Don't just be filing and filing and filing away and mess the shape up. Once you file the nail in the beginning, you have the perfect shape, you apply properly, you was cleaning up your side wall. Now when you're coming in with your file, you're only supposed to be cleaning up and refining your work. So don't overthink it. Just come in and just look at the nail from all angles and file straight, and make sure that the file is connected and file firm. Also guys, when you're filing, stop filing like you're scared. Just file the nail like you're sure about what you're doing and get it done. You got this, girl. You got this. And by the way, why aren't you yet subscribed to my channel? Please go ahead and click that subscribe button right also guys now. I made a practice sheet for you guys, that way you can practice your liquid to powder ratio. So comment down below and let me know if this practice sheet will be helpful for you. It's the acrylic practice sheet, so you can practice your beads, small bead, medium bead, and large beads. I think I'm gonna try to attach it in like a PDF format, not in this video, maybe in the next video I'm going to attach it. That way you guys can just download it and go ahead and practice your liquid to powder ratio and get a feel of what it is to pick up a small bead, a medium bead, and a large bead. So comment down below and let me know if this is gonna be helpful for you. So now I'm going to come in with my medium grit drill bit, and I'm going to debolt the nail and make sure everything is nice and smooth. And also guys, whenever I am filing, I don't just file and file away. If you want to see the nail, and let's say you're filing but you can't see how the nail look, you can't know exactly where you need to shape, look at the nail from the side, and that way you're going to see where you need to remove the bulb from. You're going to see any imperfections if you look at the nail from the side. The side view is a very good view. And whenever you're drilling the nail, please make sure you have your pinky finger resting. I can't emphasize on this anymore. You have to have that pinky finger resting, because that's gonna help you to be stable and help you to control the drill. That way you do not cut your client. So that pinky finger is very important, guys. You have to just practice. It's not as hard as you think, and it's gonna get done. Whenever I'm done filing, I do come in with my sanding band and I refine the nail, make sure everything is nice and smooth and there's no bumps or lumps on top of the nail. So I do come in with a sanding band just to refine, so on top of the nail is nice and smooth. Then I'm gonna come in one more time with my hand file, make sure everything is perfect, make sure, because sometimes when we drill the nail, the shape shifts just a little bit. So I just use the hand file to come in, smooth the top, smooth the shape, the sides, everything. Make sure everything is nice and perfect for the design. Now I'm going to come in with my buffer and I'm going to buff the nail. Make sure the top of the nail is smooth, because, and also you don't want to make it too smooth. Worse if you're doing like a gel polish, because if the nail is too smooth, the polish can chip. So just be careful of how long and how smooth like you're getting the nails, because that can cause chipping. So for the design, you do want to buff the nail to get the scratches out. That way we have a nice and sleek look. So for my French design, I'm going to use a white. We're going to do white tip. And as you can see, we have a nude base. So when I'm doing a French nail, I see people do it a lot of different ways. But I think if you just practice like this and become good at doing it like this, your life is going to be so much easier. You're going to thank me later. I've tried all the other ways, make it a V first and then you cut it in the center, all that stuff, and it takes up so much time. Just practice your French like this. Well, try to practice your French like this, and it's going to pay off in the end, because you're going to train yourself so you have an eye for how deep you're going, how much you're curving the nail, at what point you need to curve the nail. So when you're doing a French, do the outline part first. Try to get the circle first, and do not start off too thick. Start off thin, and then you work your way thicker if you feel like, okay, I think I want it a little bit thicker, instead of going in thick and then by the time you're done fixing the French, it's too thick. So when you're doing the French, try not to make it too thick at first. Worse if you're practicing, so you don't want to take the risk and have it start off thick and then you don't have room to correct your mistakes. So try to practice it this way, and it's just all about your angles too, how you angle the brush. And also what I noticed, the slower you move when you're doing the French is the more mistake you'll make. One swirl like that, one swerve, one swerve, and then you make your circle first, and then you just shade it in. And as I said before, start off thin, and then you make the French thicker to where you want it to be. Don't start off too thick. So just try to do like one side, and then you come in on the other side, and while you're doing it, you're looking how the circle look, you're looking how the smile line looks, you're looking if it's crooked, you're looking if one side is down too much or one side comes in a little bit more, and you're just working your way. So for this one, I didn't like how it looks, so I went ahead and I removed it before I put it in the lamp, because then if I had put it in the lamp and it dried, then I would have to file it off. So I didn't think that French looked exactly like the other Frenches, so I just removed it and did that one over. Yes guys, so French is just a matter of practicing. Just practice your French and you'll be so surprised how fast you get it. And I would suggest you start practicing doing it like this. It's going to pay off in the end, because then you're training your eyes for what the smile line should look like, and then it's just gonna start coming naturally, instead of doing it all those extra ways that gonna take 15 minutes or 20 minutes more of your time. coming in with my top coat, and I'm gonna top coat these nails. And when I'm putting on top coat, I do not put on too much top coat, because sometimes the top coat tends to flow in the cuticle or off the nail. And either way, like whenever I'm done putting my top coat on, I work way too hard for my shape. So whenever I'm done putting the top coat on, before I put their hands in the light, I go ahead and I clean up the sides. That way, let's say the gel had leak on the side, that's gonna change my shape. So I just make sure I wipe it off. And then, because by the time I get to the thumb, I'm sure maybe the pinky finger or the ring finger might have shifted a little bit, like start leaking on the side. So I just come in and I wipe that up, making sure everything is nice and neat, just as how I left it. And this is the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. See you guys in the next video.